Hello there. I'm Scotty, and you're not. And we are close to finishing this Pick Your Poison challenge. I think next time I do this, I'm just going to do 20 because it's just 30 is way too much and it's taking me too long. But we are on comedy, and I picked the 1998 film Senseless, starring Marlon Wayans, and David Spade. And I was originally going to do this back in February, never got around to it. And I said, when I pick comedy out, this has to be it. So, Senseless tells the story of Daryl Witherspoon, played by Marlon Wayans, as this college student who he doesn't come from money. He's trying to help his mom and his 4 other siblings, so he's doing like every single job he can in college, taking extra stuff, and he also is trying to get the Smythe Bates job, which is like this law firm, stocks and stuff like that. It's not a law firm; it's like a stocks, that kind of thing, stocks and bonds, that sort of thing. And he's trying to do that, but in an effort to make some money, he takes this offer by Dr. Brad Dourif to take this experimental drug that's going to heighten every single one of his senses. Smell, hearing, sight, touch, taste, all 5 of them heightened to the point that it, shenanigans ensue, and all that. And he's told not to double the dosage, but like an idiot, he does, and stuff happens. That's not till later in the film, but so Senseless. I came across this film a long time ago, and I actually really like it. I think it's a pretty good movie. There are some things in it, though, that caught me this time. So this is the first time I've watched it since starting my YouTube channel, so it's been a couple of years, but so, the more I think about it, like, Marlon Wayans, sure, he can appear like he's a college student. He did it like a year or two earlier in The Fifth Man, which I have reviewed, so check that review out. Or The Sixth Man, The Sixth Man. But here, I think he pulls it off. David Spade, though, I'm pretty sure David Spade was well into his 30s at this point, and I don't think he pulls off college student as well as Marlon Wayans does. I mean, he also got Matthew Lillard, who kind of pulls it off, although you do kind of see him in school a couple of times, but you cast people in their 20s to play college students. They do it in high schoolers too, so I don't know. But I don't know. For most the cast, though, you have Marlon Wayans as Daryl Witherspoon. You got David Spade as Scott. You have Matthew Lillard as Tim. I dashed his name. Excuse me. Tamara Taylor as Janine, I think her name is, who is the love interest in this film. Rip Torn is, I forget his last name, he's the head of the Smythe Bates thing, doing this, this contest thing for them to win. And Brad Dourif, of course, is the scientist guy. So yeah, and then he also got some young actors like playing his little brothers, Orlando Brown, and then Brendan Jeffers. I'm not exactly sure, Brendan something. He was X-Ray in Holes. So, but yeah, for the most part, I like this movie. I like Marlon Wayans gets to do some good comedy, some good physical comedy in this film. When he's like taking it, I think Marlon Wayans is one of the funniest people on the planet. I know a lot of people say, hey, I don't hear a lot from him, but he's one of my favorite actors, and I like to watch him do his thing. And there's a scene, it's in the trailer, so but when he first starts getting his senses, and he zooms in on a woman's butt, and he's like, that makes me laugh every time because it's very Marlon Wayans-y. I feel like it was ad-libbed by him. Like it's something he would do. It's very something, you know, if you've watched Wayans Brothers or other stuff that he's in, it feels like that's something he would put in there as sort of his own little thing. And, you know, there's some good physical comedy stuff, especially when he double doses. And when he double doses, it messes with the senses to the point that he can only have one at a time. If he sees things, he can't hear, you know, like a sense will go like he won't be able to feel anything, won't be able to see anything, he won't be able to, you know, move or hard to walk and stuff like that. That kind of physical stuff, very good. He really does it. Type thing, very good. And I think David Spade is a very good foil for him as this antagonist who doesn't want him to get the job and doesn't want him to succeed because he thinks Daryl is below him. He comes from money. Daryl doesn't, so he thinks Daryl is below him, and it might be a little bit of small, teeny tiny racism to it. The fact that he's black and he's white, and there's that kind of, you know, divide between the classes in this that, you know, kind of comes with that, you know. Just saying. He meets Janine. Daryl does, and they kind of hit it off, but it's kind of in my negatives. There are some negatives in here that I kind of, you know, I like that there's a lot of, like, Matthew Lillard and Marlon Wayans, they have good chemistry together. They work well together in this, and I think that they play off each other very well, and I like the cast have great chemistry with each other, you know, going back and forth. You have a cameo from Patrick Ewing in the scene where after he's double dosed, he can't see, and so he's at a basketball game, his sight goes, and he sits down, ends up being next to Patrick Ewing, and he finds out after he's made fun of him, and then Patrick Ewing yeets him onto the thing. I don't know if that necessarily needed to happen, but it is kind of a funny scene. Like, the negatives I have, okay, is, so, there's this subplot with Tim, Matthew Lillard's character, where he goes through phases, like he does this, he does that, and at this point he's doing where he's like, no drugs, no alcohol, absolutely nothing. He's sterilizing himself. That's his little thing. No masturbation, no sex, all forms of sex, as he says. So yeah, and then he almost gives in, grabs the dirty magazine, and goes into the bathroom and catches Daryl injecting himself. So now he becomes this person. He thinks Daryl is using shooting up heroin, which you, as far as I know, you don't shoot it into your butt. Okay, you don't shoot it into your ass. You do it here, right? I've never done it, obviously, but as far as I know, you don't shoot it into your ass. So I don't know how he would come to that conclusion. He just sees a needle shooting. I don't know. If anything, he should have thought it was steroids. But this whole little subplot just sort of doesn't go anywhere. Because it's really nothing. Like, I like Tim's little, you know, side stuff, but then when it gets to this, it's like, it just doesn't do anything because it doesn't really go anywhere. Because eventually he ends up just helping him after he explains what he's done. It just leads to that. It's the whole, well, what is my roommate doing? He's acting strange. He's shooting something up. What is it? You know, kind of busy, nosy kind of thing, and it just doesn't work. And also, we have the third act breakup where, for some reason, Janine's friend shows up and hits on Daryl, but he loses his feelings, so he can't get it up. And then, just as she's leaving, Janine shows up, and yeah, she showed interest in him at the beginning of the movie, but then he starts dating her friend, and she just all of a sudden out of nowhere shows up to try to have sex with him. Why? And because his senses are going weird, he can't really defend himself from this, and she's like all over him, and he can't feel anything, so he doesn't, you know, get it up. And then she walks in, sees him in his underwear because she sort of disrobed him, and she gets pissed. And then it's found out that it's Rip Torn's daughter in this, which, look, I get it. you want to have the surprise, like, oh my God, it's her father, and then but realistically, like, you cannot have a pure black actress. I don't think she's mixed. She doesn't look mixed. And then, oh, she has white. Like, in Spider-Man Homecoming, it was a nice twist. But Laura Herring, you can tell from her skin color, she's not mixed. She is dark. All right? And same thing with this actress. If, and that's the point. Oh, you'll never suspect. But it doesn't make any sense. Because as far as I know, when you have two parents of differing skin color, you kind of get to mix it. I don't think you get a dominant, maybe. I don't know, but it bugs me a little bit that they try to pull that. You never could guess it because she doesn't look it. That's why. I'm just saying. And then there's a scene. Okay, so his senses are going whack. He's told to stay in bed by Dr. Brad Dourif, and he says, I can't do that the next 3 days, most important days of my life. He does kind of use his abilities to cheat, but it helps him. And technically, and this might be a little controversial, but technically it's not cheating. He's only using his senses. Yes, they're a little magnified at this point, but he's not really using anything illegal. He's technically using his own 5 senses to do it. So I don't know. To me, it's not technically cheating, but I can see where some people might think that. But, so Daryl, on his way, has a suit. His eyesight goes out, and he asks someone for help, and it happens to be a homeless man who mugs him and takes all his clothes, leaving him butt-ass naked, where he walks into a suit store, for help. And he gets this, here, I'll show you, this, like, Superfly suit there. So, and my problem comes from this. So, earlier in the film, when he talks to Dr. Brad Dourif tells him, you're going to have to let the drug go through your system, and when it comes out, you'll know. So, obviously, he's going to urinate it out. And at this point, he gets the suit. He goes into the building he needs to go for the Smythe-based job, the interview, and the final competition. He asks for the bathroom, he goes in, and he gets his sight back. He's like, oh, I kill him, because he dressed me like this. And then he pisses out the drug. He's like, man, and that's so we can have a joke. Oh, looks like you peed his pants. But wouldn't it make more sense to not have the mugging scene in there at all? And here's the thing. On his way there, the drug goes out and it urinates in his suit. So he's forced to go to the nearest suit place to get a new suit. And saying, I only have $50 in my pocket, in my right sock. I can pay you back later. I swear, just give me any suit you can. And you get, that's the suit. The Superfly suit is the only thing I have that'll work for $50 at that point. That makes more sense. Because then because him pissing himself doesn't do anything other than, oh, look, he peed himself. And it really doesn't, like, there's no point to it. And even then, I don't understand something. So, like, he says when it's gone through his system, it'll find its way out. So he pisses himself. But he still is doing the can't feel anything thing. So why does it take so long for it to wear off after it's already worked out of his system? It's a little iffy. It feels like Marlon Wayans wanted to do a little bit more of the physical comedy, and it doesn't make any sense to me, I guess. But I don't know. But he eventually gets the Smythe-based job. Well, not really, but we'll get there. He wins the competition, but he then tells them, oh, I cheated. I used this experimental drug, and it helped me. Like I said, it's technically not cheating because it's just your senses amplified, but I'm just saying. But yeah, and wrong movie. Scott doesn't get it, and then he doesn't get it, but he says, Rip Torn's like, I'll give you a job in the mailroom. That's where I started, and maybe one day you'll make it to the job that he was going for, because they said, we're not going to have that and then maybe you'll get the job you were going for. And then it cuts to 1 year, and he's already got the job. And I'm like, really? It only takes 1 year for him to get the job he was going after? I find that highly unbelievable. And he's ready to go, and he's like, Mom, I can move you, to a new apartment on the east side. And she like smiles, and we get the song from the Jeffersons. We're moving on up to the east side, to a deluxe apartment in the sky. But before that, before we get to the ending of the movie here, we see that Tim has a new girlfriend, and now he's in a phase where he's an African dashiki, and he's like, Assalamu alaikum, or whatever, and I'm like, okay, that's his new face. How long is that? Unless he's got a girlfriend who's African American, or whatever religion that is. I'm sorry, I just say African American. I don't know a lot of stuff. And yeah, but then the end of the movie has him walking into a building and painting this doorman who's facing the other way while the Jefferson song plays, and he turns around. Daryl goes in the building, the guy turns around, and it's Sherman Helmsley, Mr. Jefferson from the Jeffersons. George Jefferson, excuse me, I forgot the name. May he rest in peace. And yeah, movie ends. But yeah, this was a good movie. I enjoyed it. I'm still gonna say it's pretty good. But yeah, there was a couple of problems with it I had, but overall, I still enjoy this film. It's up there with Marlon Wayans movies. I think it's between this and Scary Movie 2. If you're going by his singular performances, then between this and The Sixth Man, actually. Not being one of his other brothers, like you know, like Little Man or White Chicks. White Chicks is below this, but if you want like his solo appearances, this and The Sixth Man are neck and neck. I know he hasn't been in a lot of solo movies, but unless you want to count Dungeons and Dragons. But anyway, let's go to the next one, shall we? We're getting close. We're getting close to the end. Oh, and we've hit Crackle. And now I have to actually look, because I've yet to even download the app on my thing there. So Crackle it is. So, pen. I'll get it afterwards. I'll write it down. So, what are your thoughts on Senseless? When it comes slow, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. So my plan was that this video was going to go out on Sunday. And then I was going to try to get everything done by Friday. But I'm still going to try to do that. But Morbius, because I bought Morbius, that kind of hindered what I was doing. So this will be out on Monday, and I'll try to get to someday this week. I know I said Full Moon Friday is going to start in July. I didn't realize that July 1st was this Friday. But probably going to wait until the second week of July for that. The second Friday in July for that. Just because I think it'll work better for me. But, thank you for watching. I've been Scotty, and I'll see you in the next one.